Better get y'all's ready. All right. Again, welcome back to the Costas Verde Show. We're going to start off with Bitcoin price action, and then we'll go to perhaps the traditional markets and link that together all in one, because Bitcoin's following the traditional markets, and then we'll do Ethereum. And then I will start addressing questions from the live chat. So just a heads up that I typically cannot get to all the questions from non-YouTube tier members. So the YouTube tier members, when they leave a comment, it has an emblem next to it. And I typically, I only have time to get through those questions. But if we're lighter on the viewers today, and I have fewer questions, and I'll get to non-community member questions. But I don't skip questions to be a dickhead. I do it because I got to get to the community members' questions. All right, here we go. Like OTA, the first one to talk. Olor, I can't say his name, but you can see it. OTA acronym. He's got an emblem by his name. All right, no further friggin' ado. Bitcoin dropped 10% in one day. One day, dropped below an origin line, which means, so this origin line that I'm pointing to, that is macro stuff. That means not only are the bears in control on the short-term time frame by a mile, but from a midterm and long-term standpoint, the tides have returned back to the bears. So origin line's a big deal, and likely if price can spike, and we're going to zoom into this during this portion of the live stream, and what the ramifications of this going back below this line are, and the history of going back below an origin line after you go below it, failure pattern, then back below it. It's usually seals the deal on farther, like a lot farther down price action. So we're going to go over that, and then we will also try to connect that to the S&P 500, because Bitcoin's moving along with it. So let's dive our butts in here and go get some darn Bitcoin. Here we go. I have on not enough stuff. Here we go. I'm going to zoom into the 15-minute chart. The last 4-hour candle of the day has already begun. The tomorrow's candle begins here, and I am missing a box. There it is. Perfect. So again, this box that I have labeled down here at the very bottom, labeled 20,054 and 19,560. If price goes below here, this bottom one, and uses it as resistance, that could mean another leg of capitulation. I don't see that happening tonight or, before Wednesday, market open. So throughout the next 14, 15 hours, I think we're pretty safe of that not happening. And if price does go below 19,560, I bet it would come back up to try to then get rejected by the origin line or the top of this box. So between tonight through, let me put on these EMAs. There we go, daily 10. Where's my daily 21? So from the time I'm recording this and doing the live stream through when Americans are waking up tomorrow, and midday for Europeans, early evening for folks farther east, or late evening for Australians, I don't see this breaking below here. Therefore, I think the top end, or for the next 14, 15 hours before market opens Wednesday, traditional finance United States markets open 9:30 a.m. New York time, I don't think price will navigate too far above here or too far below here. Okay, that target and that target throughout the night. If this is surpassed before market open, I bet it comes back closer to the middle point, which is this origin line labeled here, this price action right there. If overnight price scoops below here, I would assume that before market open, it'll also revert back to this middle area or the origin line. Is that making sense? But the key here is, though, if that were to happen, If it scoops down, comes back up, the second time it goes below this line, I would fully expect strong move down. All right. Now let's connect this to the stock market, because Bitcoin is essentially following this. So that's your micro timeframes. We'll go over other timeframes real quick on Bitcoin. All right. Very simple higher low or lower low structure. If the chart, so you can type, see how it says US 500, US 500 enter on TradingView. It'll take you to, it's like Pepperstone. See how it says Pepperstone up near me up here? It's essentially like a futures chart, and it runs 23 hours, 5 days a week. But it's my favorite traditional market chart. Bitcoin, when the traditional finance algos are dictating Bitcoin price, which it does like 90% of the time, this is a great guide for Bitcoin. So if you see this low taken out, and I'm on the 15-minute chart, this is from today, that is a warning sign that if Bitcoin can't hold that bottom of the box as this lower low is passed, even on small candles tomorrow. So if you see Bitcoin going below that bottom box at 19,560 as this is crossed, you could have a very aggressive move down. Maybe not another 10% day down, but it could get, I mean, hell, it could. It could get really aggressive. But on this lower low that I'll be looking at tomorrow during market open, if Bitcoin seems to be holding strong or is at the top of that box that I showed you, I think was right at 20,050 or so, then I wouldn't be so concerned of a capitulation event. So it depends on where Bitcoin is in that box when this local low is taken out. So you might want to go to this chart and set an alert, because when it goes ding, your alert for US 500 is going off. You might want to go look at where Bitcoin is. It could cause, so depending on where it is, it could be a drastically different result. All right. If Bitcoin's holding fairly strong as this is hit, because sometimes Bitcoin outperforms the stock market. If that's happening in the short-term timeframes, and Bitcoin finds itself, you know, it's gotten rejected from here, that low on the stock market is taken out when Bitcoin's here. Well, I would say that low taken on the stock market would only bring Bitcoin down here, and it's got a good chance to bounce. Or it would have a good chance to go under here and then make a higher low and then get retest up here. But if Bitcoin is underperforming or evenly performing the stock market when that happens, and it's like, you know, it's already down here, all right, when that traditional finance market chart is making new lows, that would be dangerous. If Bitcoin's right freaking here at that moment, you're looking for some really, really nasty price action. All right. And that should get you through the next 24 hours, through end of day tomorrow. All right. Depending on where Bitcoin is. If Bitcoin's up here when that low's taken out, then this would be your target, or slightly lower. Look for a retest up higher. If Bitcoin's down here because it's been underperforming as that low is hit, watch out. That's how I would judge that. And also take a note that Bitcoin has made 3 local. So this is versus Ethereum. The Ethereum merge is still really affecting Bitcoin price big time. And let me show it to you. Like this is, you'll be able to see it very clearly. Watch. So I will mark this off at around the daily 21 EMA on Bitcoin. So this is all from today. I'm on a very small chart, 15-minute time frame, right? But this will have impact over the next 48 hours until the merge is finally done. Then it's going to be so much freaking easier to trade. Hopefully. That's the plan anyway. So right as this daily 21 EMA was hit on Bitcoin, I will mark that off here. That was roughly at 10:45 a.m. New York. All right. Let me make this a little bit bolder. Something like there. At that area. So 10:45. Let me go to Ethereum. The same thing. And it's essentially held even, right? So technically lower lows, but look how much lower. So the wick down was here. 0.25% and 0.18%. So 0.1, so essentially equal lows, right? Since that time. But what has Bitcoin done since at the exact moment it hit the daily 21 EMA? It's made aggressively lower lows. Look. So from that exact point, Ethereum has only gone down 0.2, a quarter of 1%. Bitcoin has gone down another 4.7%. Are you seeing this? That's significant. I did not expect that with the merge date so close, but people are still. So what this means is big money is still expecting, or at least speculating the play, or speculating that others are speculating that they're going to buy into this news. And so with that, with what I just showed you, that means two things are going to be drastically obvious on two different charts. Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart is on the short-term timeframes aggressively moving up. And Bitcoin dominance should be aggressively going down based off what I just showed you from this yellow line, right? And this I did not expect this to happen this close to the merge date, but it's still happening. And shame on me. The news, or the time to sell into the event hasn't technically happened. So maybe I should have seen this coming. But remember those two charts I just said. Bitcoin dominance should be going down, and Ethereum versus Bitcoin should be going up on short-term timeframes, and aggressively so. So this is Bitcoin dominance. Does that look like short-term time frame since that time it's been going down? Yes. There you go. And the exact time it took out this wick low and really started moving down more aggressively was at exactly 10:45 when it took out this low. 10:45 when Bitcoin hit the daily 21. It just gave up. And so Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Oh, that's ADA. I was off by one. Short-term time frames. Guess what time it was when it printed its first green candle in a series of green candles. Guess what time that is? 10:45. So are you seeing how it's all connected? People are still buying up Ethereum way more aggressively than Bitcoin, and it's really suppressing Bitcoin price. Bitcoin's being a dog right now. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Bitcoin had a 10% down day, and it had a 10% up day just a couple days ago. This is really volatile stuff. I mean, the crypto market is acting really funky around this merge. It's possible that the ripple effects. So imagine the merge and all of its effects are a rock, and it's already been dropped in the pond, right? No. Let's say the date that it's redone, so tomorrow or the 15th or whenever. Let's say it's finally completed the merge. So that's when the rock drops in the pond. It's possible that just like a pond dropping a rock in there, you do get ripple effect for some time. So it might not be that crypto becomes more normal again instantly. It might have a ripple effect. I'm not for sure, because this type of stuff has never happened before. This merge has had like 5 years or 4 years of anticipation. So it could have an effect. And I don't anticipate the charts necessarily instantly go back to normal, and instantly Ethereum sells off, and instantly Bitcoin starts outperforming, like Ethereum versus Bitcoin starts dropping. I don't really know. But it's something to pay attention to. And you'll be able to see it specifically using the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is primarily affected by Ethereum, because all the alts will then follow Ethereum, right? And they all, like a lot of them, the big players will outperform Bitcoin, making Bitcoin dominance go down. So during so as we're approaching the merge date, what is really important for Bitcoin analysis and trading Bitcoin, if that's what you're doing, is trying to view the effects of this merge, and on the day after it happens, how is the Bitcoin dominance chart reacting, and how is Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart reacting? And they're going to move, they will move inverse of each other exactly. If Ethereum goes up versus Bitcoin on the ETH versus BTC pairing, then Bitcoin dominance will continue going down aggressively and potentially make new lows. But if you see Ethereum versus Bitcoin pairing go down, then Bitcoin dominance will really take off, and your altcoins are going to suffer if Bitcoin continues going down. So here's putting all this together. Around the merge date, if Bitcoin dominance starts really rocketing up, that can happen independent of price of crypto all going up or price of crypto all going down, right? It's almost like volatility. Volatility is monodirectional to price. You can have a spike in volatility if everything goes up, and you can have a spike of volatility going up if all price is going down. Just like today. Huge spike up in volatility, but all price went down. Same thing for Bitcoin dominance. So here's why this is really important. If Bitcoin dominance starts going up as crypto and Bitcoin itself goes down, all right, then your alts are going to get their asses kicked hard. Hard. But if you see that Bitcoin dominance chart continue to go down, and let's say all of crypto is still going down, then the effects of how badly alts will go down will be mild, and Bitcoin might underperform a lot of them. Am I saying this clearly? I know I said it right, but hopefully I'm explaining it in a way that makes sense. So the effect of Bitcoin dominance, it really is going to depend on is crypto going up or down, and the effects of Bitcoin dominance going up will be, different in those regards. Okay, there's a different interpretation, but you need to pay attention to that chart, particularly to the merge digs. I'm telling you, it's making crypto a little funky right now. If you're paying real close attention to the small term timeframes, like I just showed you, the 1045 line, I just showed you very as clear as day. Like that was the moment like Ethereum started gaining on Bitcoin. It just switched for I don't know why, and I didn't expect it. And my longs on Ethereum worked for a counter trend trade, but my longs on Bitcoin got messed up. I got stopped out immediately, right? Got out of those trades immediately because it kept making lower lows. And so those are the things. So let's go back over these key levels one more time to get you through the next, 12, 14 hours. Here are all the things that I would pay attention to. If price goes up tonight, it's either price has a strong chance of hitting its head on the daily 21 or the daily 10, roughly in this zone. Let me put it just in the middle, just shy of 21K. It will be hard for Bitcoin to get above 21K tonight through the next 12, 14 hours. Okay, because the daily 10's there and the daily 21, you're getting ready to have a bearish cross. When orange goes below yellow, it doesn't immediately make price go down, but woof, it can have a pretty serious effect. You also have resistance at the origin line, but if price in the small term can get above this origin line and use it as support, that does increase the chance that Bitcoin might try over the daily 10, maybe over 21,000. So the only real chance that I think Bitcoin has in the next short-term time frame to get over 21K is if it can base off this origin line. Basing off of here does not give you permission to fly above the daily 10 and daily 21 together. But if you could base on the origin line, I think you could then potentially spike up to 21.3. So 21.3 and change, 21.320 roughly to this. But I don't see that being hit in the next 16 to 24 hours until the origin line is used as support, similar to my yesterday's video. I said price can't go up unless the daily 10 or the weekly 10, the red line, is used as support in multiple 5-minute candles. And then the 5-minute candles just tinkered with it for like 16 hours. It was crazy. I didn't expect quite that long, but I was thinking 4 to 6 or something. 4 to 6 hours, which is a lot of 5-minute candles. Similar thing. I don't think there's permission to touch up here unless you see the origin line being used as support on small candles. Am I making sense? If Bitcoin just takes a hike up immediately, so it just says, let's go, well, it's going to pull back from this area, because it doesn't have permission to fly through them because it did not use this as support. And hopefully this gets you through the next day into market open. And then after market open, honestly, just whenever Bitcoin goes back below this origin line, it can spell some really nasty stuff. As the daily 21 and daily 10 cross below this origin line, they could make price really catapult. And just looking in the past, origin lines with the daily 21 going below, it's scary. Let's take a quick look, and then I'll end the Bitcoin segment of this. It can mean some serious business. Okay, so origin lines. I'm going to keep on only the daily 21 and origin lines. Watch this. So let's go back. I thought I had these locked. Yeah, let's just go back to the 69K top in November. This is November 69K top. Here's one origin line with the yellow. So this origin line is the orange. Okay, it goes way back in time, right? If I zoom out, you see how much price interaction it has over the years, over the decade, decade plus. Look, this is where 2015, 2016, the entire bull rally based off of. It's the same line, right? That's the origin line that I'm getting ready to zoom in from the 69K top. And I'm going to show you how the daily 21 squeezed price under it and how big of a deal this is. All right. Let me go to I think the 4-hour chart can show us a little bit better. So I'm on the 4-hour chart, but I'm still going to have on the daily 21 EMA. All right. So here's the 69K top right here. Okay. So that origin line, and I just zoomed out to show you, look, when this yellow line squeezed price below this origin line, look what happened. That's a big ass drop. Fuck. That's a really big one. I don't know if that would happen again. But still, the next origin line down. Look what got it. It wasn't as perfect, but price was holding on to the origin line, and look, right when this crossed, look. On the exact moment it crossed, right there on this tick, boom. Let me make that's the exact moment that this accelerated down. Look, it's on the exact, zoom out. Boom. That's when the move started. You see that? All right, let's do another one. So during this large, I guess, bear market rally type of deal that lasted almost 100 days, Bitcoin just played between two origin lines. That was a big range. This was tough to trade. But how did the finale go down? Bitcoin trying to hold on to an origin line, trying to hold on. This crossed and tried one more time, but the yellow line had already, see this origin line here? But it's, in general sense, you get squeezed out of this zone. Where's my freaking triangle tool? There we go. Look, like right here, like a... You see that? So the yellow line going below this origin line squeezes price down. Here, price decided to hold on for a little bit longer, 9 days, but that's not very typical. It usually just accelerates right away. Okay, here's another one. Trying to hold on to the origin line, flirting with the 21. Again, it didn't get a perfect squeeze, because here, if it were a perfect squeeze, the acceleration to the downside would have been more similar to the first two times, and it would have happened in this like triangle area here. So price did not accelerate down there. It tried to hold on even longer, right? And then accelerate down after yellow crossed the origin line. All right. And look how big of a move that is. I mean, it gets some serious moves. That's 40%. Gee whiz. All right. So look what's happening here. Price. So just look at this. Price is trying to hold on to an origin line. One more big spike up, which is a little bit different than the last one. So as Bitcoin tries to come back up, what do you think is going to happen? This yellow line mixed with the origin line are really going to stop price, and you're going to form some form of black triangle like this with the yellow daily 21 right here. And it's possible Bitcoin tries to go sideways most of the month of September, goes like this, boom, goes like this. But in the end, it's probably going to make new lows, folks. Until something macro changes, that's probably what's going to happen again. So, even if it holds on a little bit longer, that would be late. That'd be September 21st. I don't see Bitcoin holding on much longer than late September. And guess what happens on September 20th or 21st? I think it's the exact date. Is the next FOMC meeting when the Fed, the US Fed might raise rates by a whole point, 100 points instead of 75. I'm going to leave this on my freaking chart. That might be exactly what happens. Maybe. It's a very good option. So Bitcoin could hold on and try to interact with the daily 21 as it's sloping down with this origin line here and give up at the FOMC and really accelerate. So that's your midterm price analysis. Daily 21 and this origin line are your best freaking friends. I think I just like proved it to you. Like if you're sitting there like not, like agreeing that these are your two main tools for a midterm time frame, like I'd suggest rewinding this portion and looking at what I just showed. Like these are your best friends. Highly probable scenario of lower lows incoming. So and mixed with the fact that my line A on Nasdaq futures chart has not been hit, and Bitcoin cannot have found a bottom until that's it, and it's like 16% away. And Bitcoin moves if Nasdaq goes down 60%, Bitcoin goes down 30 plus. Perhaps even 40. A big move potentially ahead throughout the next 60 days or so. So be careful. Don't get caught up in the double bottom theory because it's about ready to be proven wrong with a high probability. Hopefully I just showed you that. Hopefully I'll flip you back to reality and what's more probable. So that's your Bitcoin portion. All right. I kind of mixed Ethereum in with that, so I might skip Ethereum and just go straight to the questions. Drink some coffee first. Okay, again, so for anybody who just jumped on, if you're not a community member and thus you don't have an emblem next to your name, I'll probably skip your question unless I get to like 7:05 and I have a couple minutes left and I've gotten through all the tier members. So those are tier members asking questions or commenting. I'm going to skip over non-tier member questions or non-emblem questions first. And I'm not doing it to be mean. That's just part of, my deal with them. All right. All right, OTA up in the house. Can we get an update on Kate? Of course. All right, we'll start with Kate. I should have already known. All right, here we go. Did KDA hit my black triangle? Hopefully I didn't delete my black. I think it just... Oh, it didn't hit it. You son of a bitch. My black triangle on KDA was this close to being hit. This is the first time in a while that one of my black shapes that you can see behind me on any altcoin wasn't hit in the specific time frame. I usually give myself enough cushion where it's very statistically probable. So that means that KDA is holding on a little stronger. And if you did the KDA versus Bitcoin chart, I think it might be gaining some ground. So I haven't really studied this since my last... since last Tuesday. So this is going to be interesting. So you're going to watch me analyze KDA from a fresh perspective, and you're going to see me mentally walk through it. So you can see how I view things, as opposed to I already have everything prepared. So I might fart around in the charts a little bit more, but there's also value in bearing with me during this, because you're going to see my logical, like, step-by-step process here. Okay, but that's my first observation, is I had this black triangle. Let me go out to the 4-hour chart, zoom out, get rid of these levels here that I don't need. All right. Yep, see how it just missed it? I really thought that was going to be hit. But how many hours off was I? The end of the triangle. Let's see here. But this is not bad news for KDA. I was off by 20 hours. Oh well. I still missed. It still didn't hit it. So that is one of the black shapes that did not hit. All right. So KDA is at a critical juncture, really. I'm going to take off the EMA. I don't think we need that. Yeah, that EMA actually is pretty good. That might... Now, I think the daily 10 is... Yeah, the daily 10 is better. So if you can choose one EMA to use to get KDA price, the general direction for the mid time frame, like for the next 2 days, what is the general direction? It's going to be the daily 10 EMA, which is this orange line. I technically have it as the 1 hour, as you can see, 1 hour 200. On Bitcoin, it's equivalent. It's the same damn thing. All right. For markets that close, like SPX, it's not the same because the hours don't run, the same. That's it, because the market's closed. But here, I would use the 1 hour 200, so it's nice and smooth. So right now, KDA is under it. Let me even go to the 3-minute candles. it has used the daily 10 as resistance. So for the next 48 hours, I mean, the general direction is probably going to be down unless you see small candles get above this, even 3-minute candles. That's the daily 10 on a 3-minute chart. And I was thinking this is holding on, but this is at a critical juncture here. And it just went below an origin line. So what you're going to have here is potentially another shape forming here. If it can't get above this daily 10, it's gonna accelerate down, folks, because that daily 10 will squeeze price down. Are you seeing this origin line? This is a big deal. So it's below the daily 10, which is your main, EMA that price is interacting with, or the 1 hour 200, and this origin line, which origin lines get price right a lot, right? In terms of support. So support, resistance, it gets a lot of stuff right. And if you're using it as resistance as the daily 10 is your main EMA, it could really start accelerating down. So to the upside, there's really not much chance of KDA to do something special until it's above the 1 hour 200 EMA. No upside for more than few. So it could go up for like 10 hours. It might take 10 hours to get up to there. Like, hell, that's a whole, oh no, I'm on the 3-minute chart. Yeah, so that's 3 hours, 4 hours. So it could go up steadily for 4 hours, but to have a multi-day type of move, that ain't going to happen until, let's go to the 5-minute chart, until 5-minute candles get above here and bounce on this line. So that's your short-term stuff for the upside. To the downside, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I'm not really going to cover the upside because it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All right, I can get rid of this triangle. To the downside, if this low is taken out, yeah, if its current local low is taken out, I'm on the 15-minute chart now on KDA. If this low is taken out, I think it's wrong one. So just this low from today. So if today's low is taken out, I think your next pit stop is below here. I don't think you're going to make a higher low to the low of September 6th. I think you might get a small bounce at a 45-degree angle. So, and it could be a playable bounce. Where is my projector tool? One of the most handy things in all of crypto. Well, it's already there. No, it's going to pass that at the same time. So yeah, it's going to pass your 45-degree angle and this horizontal at the same time. So yeah, your next area of possible bounce is $1.40. If it goes below today's low of September 13th, the next bounce point is down here to the downside. And that's not a small move. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. That's an 8% move down. It could be fairly swift. Let's check out KDA versus Bitcoin. Because the idea that it didn't hit my black triangle means it was gaining on Bitcoin a little bit for a while. Let's just see if we found a pivot point there. Or no, it just held steady, didn't it? It held steady versus Bitcoin for quite a while. Huh. Interesting. So it held steady versus Bitcoin for a whole month. Interesting. It's not looking too bad versus Bitcoin, actually. But if Bitcoin keeps going down, so will KDA. And if KDA gives up, this structure versus on the Bitcoin pairing, if it gives this up, that's when KDA will really start accelerating. So you might want to take a look at the Bitcoin pairing of KDA too. If this level right here is taken out, it could go down to low targets even lower than what I'm thinking. But if Bitcoin's going down and KDA goes with Bitcoin, I think that $1.40 is good. But if this is taken out as Bitcoin's going down, KDA would probably smash through it. So keep an eye on that level on the Bitcoin pairing. Triple or quadruple 0.70. 70.38. That's a pretty big level for it. But KD is not doing too badly versus Bitcoin over the last month. I'm a little surprised. What else? Those are all the key levels, both versus the dollar and versus Bitcoin. But it is at a critical juncture, and don't expect much upside until small candles get above that daily 10 or the 1 hour 200 EMA, because it's not going to happen until you see that happen. That's just how price moves on this asset and most assets as well, even oil or black market testicles, whatever. So we'll end KDA there. Hopefully that was helpful. All right. Tina Lee, thanks for the thumbs up, Tina. Dot and link possible bottoms. Sure. All right, somebody asked about Chainlink possible bottoms. It's going to be a little harder of an answer because something macro has changed. So let's dive into some of these possibilities here. All right, this is the crypto market cycle top, essentially. This is when Bitcoin was doing 69K top, and I'm on, this is Polkadot. Maybe I introduced this coin wrong. All right, somebody's asking about Polkadot lowest levels that I could see happening, or reasonable levels for bear market bottom lows. And as you can see behind me, something macro is changing. So the answer is going to be a little bit different if this macro change can sustain itself throughout the rest of the bear market. So on Polkadot. So let's go dive into here. This right here was the 69K top of Bitcoin. And so Polkadot at that moment in November was around $56. It formed a channel which price stayed inside of for 288 days, and Polkadot has worked its way out of it. If you are a fan of Polkadot and you trade it, or whether it's spot trading or whatever, or futures trading, you might want to take a snapshot of this and try to make yours look similar, because this is a big deal. All right, now the bottom on Polkadot's going to be drastically different. All right, so I'm going to have to make a couple of guesses of when bottom will be. Let's say bottom of crypto will be in November sometime as one guess, and then I'm going to have to go to the 12-hour chart. And then maybe another guess is February of 2023. Okay, two guesses for bottom. Now I'm going to extend this this range here. And it's just where it intersects. I mean, what I'm doing is really, really simple stuff, but it has a high chance of being accurate and giving you, very solid, educated guesses on where bottom will be for this asset. The trickiest thing is on the time axis. I don't know how good these guesses are on the time axis. I don't think the bottom's already in. So therefore, I think these are okay guesses, but it could be later. I mean, I don't know. Therefore, if the bottom of crypto is later, then the targets would be lower, okay? Because this is downward sloped. Just realize it. This is a downward sloping, trajectory here, or downward trajectory. All right, here we go. But the answer will be drastically different. So these are my two guesses on the timing of a bottom, November of this year, February of next year. If Polkadot can hold on and stay up roughly above, so use the previous resistance line as support, okay, and hits it right on the nose, for example, at those times, because that's the bottom, but it's able to use it as support, these would be your two lows. These are conservative guesses. These numbers might be lower than what you want to see, but I'm telling you, those are conservative guesses, whether you like it or not. And again, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. That's if Polkadot stays strong. It's a lot lower than current price. However, since you have hopefully or will take the time to draw this channel, okay, go back on this video and try to make it similar. If you see Polkadot go back into this channel before one of these dates, then you got to realize the more likely targets are at the point of control or the middle or the bottom. Then you're going to have 4 options because you're going to have multiple intersection points, right? So if Polkadot breaks back into this channel and my time axis guess is okay, not that bad, then let's just put it in the middle there. You're going to have 4 different numbers here. And there you go. These are my 6 guesses of bottom for Polkadot. And you can see one is under 50 cents. That's the lowest one I would guess, right? And it is possible Polkadot holds this as support. So these 2, as of now, might actually be the most probable. They really might. So these 2 are the most probable guesses, most probable outcomes until Polkadot falls back into this channel and uses this as resistance. I said and. So it's got to fall under this line and use it as resistance and then make another, just get stuck under here. Once it's, so not just entering here. If it enters, it could easily go right back out of it, right? Just as a quick dip down. So, and use it as resistance. But, let me make myself small. So until that happens, these 2 are the most probable, but I just showed you the exact moment where the probabilities of those flip, and that instantly makes, these 4 the most probable. It honestly almost eliminates these. If price gets stuck in there before, like the time axis is hit, it almost eliminates this, because then price would have to go up during a capitulation move, right? It doesn't just make it less probable. It pretty much cancels them, right? And then you're focused on these on these 4 numbers right here, and those are my bottom guesses and why on Polkadot. And again, I can't stress enough. Go if you like Polkadot and you like to either analyze it or piss around with it on futures or spot trade, drawing that channel is going to help you drastically, particularly if Polkadot falls back into it. But even if it doesn't, that top line, it's going to be very, very helpful because it's going to be hit. That top line will be hit again. And it might not be very far from being, and it might be hit like 10 times in the next 6 months. It might literally just keep bouncing on it all the way down. It's completely possible. So I recommend Polkadot fans draw that channel, and hopefully that's helpful. All right. Same thing for Chainlink. It's the same damn situation. Damn. All right. So Chainlink and Polkadot are in very similar macro situations, and how to guess their bottoms is going to be very dependent on whether or not they fall back into this macro channel that was formed during Bitcoin 69K top during November of 2021, or if every downside move can use the previous resistance top of the channel as support. I don't know which one's going to happen, right? And so I just ran the same analysis, and I'm recording this, right, for viewers of who aren't on the live stream. But for folks viewing the recording of this, you might also go to my Polkadot video from September 13th or 14th, whenever I push these out, because it's going to be a similar analysis, and you're going to be able to see how I do this twice. All right. So bottom guesses for Chainlink. I kind of have my guesses in place, but I'm on the 12-hour chart, and this, does that align with November? Yes. So this also aligns with November. Bitcoin 69K top is when this channel started forming. Polkadot stayed in this for 288 days. I imagine it's about the same. It's the exact same. 200. Damn. These are moving very similarly. Am I on the right chart? Yeah, this is Link. Wow, it looks the same. This is actually kind of, this is interesting. That is really weird. Wow. That's the same channel. Huh. Okay. So I think from a time axis standpoint, that I'm going to guess sometime in November, maybe just after elections, and then in February of 2023 for a New Year sell-off type of deal to bottom out. And those would be my time axis guesses. So I'm going to extend these lines to February, and we're going to do the same deal. But on the Polkadot version of this, I walk you through the logic a little bit more, but I'm going to do the fast version of this one here. Again, I cannot stress enough, the bottom targets are highly going to be dependent upon whether or not this top line is used as support. So if you are a fan of Chainlink, you probably want to pause this video right after I get my dumbass small here and make your chart look like this. All right, let me take myself off here completely. Bam. And so this is going back to, this is November 10th, and it enters around October 15th. But you just know that this is, just try to make a channel that looks like this. You don't have to make it fancy with a rotated rectangle colored orange. Hell, you can make it sparkles with rainbow and M&Ms on it. I don't care, right? That's step one, if you like this, if you're a Chainlink fan. All right, now, the two options are this. Let's get rid of these. These are probably my drawdowns of 95%, 98%, just from top to bottom, from top. If Chainlink can use this as support on the bear market way down, then your targets for the bottom will be very easy. If I guess the right timing of the bottom, these are your two major options. Right there. $3.37 and $1.88. That is if this line could, if it can refrain from falling back in here. But if Chainlink cannot use this as support, okay, so this line's probably going to be tested, and you just get nasty, it just nasty dives in here and uses it as resistance, it gets trapped. What's going to happen is your point of control and the lower line intersecting with these vertical lines, you're going to have 4 most likely points of a bottom, with the loose assumption and unsafe assumption that the bottom will happen in either November of 2022 or February 2023. I really don't know if these are placed correctly, but these are just guesses, right? But regardless of the timing, the concept's the same. If you see Chainlink, and well, hell, if Chainlink does it, Polkadot will do it too. Get rejected from here. That means this is out of the question. And this is out of the question. That means your target will be lower. Does that make sense? So if you're a fan of this and you don't want it to go down, actually, if you are a fan of it, you actually do want it to go down because you want to buy it cheaper. Like, don't root for it not to break back into it. You know, if you're holding bags all the way down, that's your fault. Just realize that you want it to go cheaper unless you're holding bags from $50 or whatever, because you listen to big accounts saying this would go up Chainlink to $700. Oh my gosh. All right, but I was guilty of that too. However, my whole videos were like, this isn't probable. I'm just clickbaiting you with thumbnails. All right, here we go. So if Chainlink falls back into this channel, I'm gonna just put it in the middle here. You have 4 points where this could go, and those 4 guesses would instantly become the most probable targets if Chainlink gets back into this range and gets trapped under that line. And that would immediately invalidate, not just make these improbable, but immediately invalidate these as the low potential. So these right here are your 4 targets, bottom targets for Chainlink. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Now, if you're a Chainlink fan, go back on this and draw a channel, send one of mine. It's going to help drastically. All right. Whew. Yeah, Bitcoin is getting a smackdown. Hey, Nate, nice to see you. OTA. Oh, Will. Okay, cool. Will Hutchins, thanks for I will skip to Will's questions. Then I will go back up to get Harrison and Brokoshi and OTA. So OTA is asking for near. Harrison's asking MTRG. Brokoshi is talking about flow. No, I have not talked about flow. Let me get Will real fast here. All right, all I have to say is if you aren't buying on days like these, you never will. Keep up the great videos. Don't try to catch the bottom. Yeah, that's true. And so it's not a question. Yeah, I mean, so if I could calibrate that, I typically like the RSI to recover and to make higher lows before I buy. So on strong moves down, it typically that's typically not the bottom of that move, right? So I personally, so on my Dash spot trade, I'm trading Dash, right, on spot since April, and I've 2.75x my Dash, but I've sold some of it, so I'm at 2.5%. I'm 2.5x on the amount of Dash I have since I think April or March, whenever I started. And all I do on it is I make sure that when I sell, I can buy back lower. I don't worry about bottoms either, kind of like Will Hutchins said. But to try to, so that's the one thing in spot trading in the bear market. Whenever you sell, just make for damn sure it's at a point that you will be able to buy back lower. That's the only one goal. And if you can do that in the bear market of spot trade, you will accumulate. You don't even have to worry about the buys. Yeah, you could optimize your buys to make it easier to then sell where you'll be able to buy back lower, but you only have to focus on one thing. Whenever you sell, make sure there's a statistically extremely high chance you can buy it back lower. That's it. One goal. But to optimize my buys on this, I did not buy back Dash today because I typically like to wait for recovery of some sort. And usually during recovery, you get lower lows. So technically I did not buy back today, but on this downside move, once I see RSI recovered on the 4-hour chart, probably, or the 1 hour at least, and I'll just show you. So on Bitcoin, I like the 1 hour RSI to do two things for a spot trade buy. You can trade multiple times on futures on low time frames, multiple times within the time period I'm about ready to show you. So what I'm about ready to show you takes like a week, right? So I'm on the 1 hour RSI. I like to see it. So when it goes way down low, so he said, Will Hutchinson said days like these, goes way down low, the 1 hour, and it's just a big move down. You typically go up and then you make a 45-degree angle low, and price goes lower there. So the 1 hour goes boom, 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 and goes bam. And that is one strike of bullish divergence. And it typically takes a couple days. So that's only 18 hours, I guess. And what that allows to happen is for the 4 hour RSI to try to get closer to its EMA up here, right? But so like one tick like this on the 4 hour is typically a swoop on the 1 hour, and I like to see it get up here, then make a higher low as price makes a lower low. Because whenever you get this deep in here, you're going to bump your head either on this line or this line, and when it goes back down, price is gonna make a lower low. Can you trade this on futures and then sell into the and then take on counter trend trade longs and then go switch shorts, like get 2 or 3 trades in? Yeah. But on spot trade, I like to see the higher low on the 1 hour RSI. So technically that is my requirement for buying back on spot after a large move down. I don't try to play the intermediate plays. I like to do the full move. But what he's saying is right. If I can optimize that one thing, that's what I would say. And that's literally the signal I base off of. And I've been really successful spot trading a Dash. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Will. Once again, I appreciate that. All right. So here we go. Let's go up to OTA. Thoughts on Near and Secret. Yeah, you and Secret. All right. Near protocol. One of the community members are asking about Near protocol and my general thoughts on it. So I will do my short-term time frame and maybe mix it with a little bit of mid-term time frame analysis. I have not looked at this chart for a while, so you're going to watch me, logically step through this and see my just see how I step through this. Okay, so I want that. Let me zoom out to the 4 hour chart. Ooh, this is a big channel. Ooh, Near is actually doing something similar to both Polkadot and Chainlink. So from this Bitcoin 60, no, this is the 64K tab. So this entered in April. Wow. So this channel it stayed in there for 140. Oh, I guess that was April of 2022. So this is 142 days. It went sideways out of this. I think Near actually has a fucking solid chance of using the top of this as support. So from a long-term standpoint, if crypto bottoms in November of this year, I think Near actually has a solid chance of holding $1. Which that might seem really low to you if you're a fan of Near, but I'm telling you, like, this is a conservative guess, even though it's at $4 right now. And that is a generous guess. But if there's one thing that could nail a generous guess, this is looking pretty good. This is a macro shift right here. It went out of a macro channel. So when it comes back down here, I think it's going to use this as support. And I think it looks like it has an even better chance of doing it than the two charts we just looked at on this live stream that are very similar to this, Polkadot and Chainlink doing the same thing. Yeah, so, okay, here we go. That's macros type of stuff. But once this point right here is lost, so $4 is lost, I don't think Near is going to be able to hold on to this low here. I think it's going to be, it could get a bounce, but it'd probably bounce. So once $4 is hit, yeah, you might get a bounce at this horizontal at 370, but then you're going to use this at $4 as resistance. You're going to accelerate down to this channel. So once $4 is lost, I think your ultimate midterm target is the top of the previous channel. All right, it's going to be a big drop, but it's going to be even bigger if it can't hold that channel. So I mean, that's a 40% drop. So I do think that channel line might only be hit once or twice more before crypto's done falling. Wow, this is a lot stronger than I expected. This is a lot stronger. And let's say I'm totally wrong on that. Well, I mean, it's going to be obvious. If 370 and or $4 is hit and it holds, then I'm going to be dead wrong. It's Near is actually looking like it's it could actually shape up to not be that bad. I'm surprised it's behaving this way. There are a lot of people interested in this from an investor standpoint, not just trading. This is larger money and probably a mixture of retail and some small, a small amount of institutional money doing an aggressive play. There's money flowing into this from an investment standpoint. This is, gosh, it might not even hit the top of that channel line. I might renege. I would keep these two horizontals on my chart. If 372 is broken, then you're going to have a big ass drop. Then horizontals from looking left in the past aren't going to matter anymore. So it is possible it won't accelerate after $4. It might be 370 as your cliff. But if 370 is lost and used as resistance, it's going to have a big ass drop down to this line. So to get that same line, I'm going to zoom out so you can see it all. Let me turn myself off here. Yeah, Near is doing pretty well. Let me get rid of these so you can see my channel. You're at least, so honestly, drawing this whole channel might not be necessary. You might only need that top line. So I'm going to zoom in to August 10th. And I'm going to go to the 2 hour, or I'll go to the 1 hour chart. And you might just draw a line and then extend it. So this is August 10th area at the tops, then the bottom here. So it uses it as resistance, then support on the 14th. This is the 14th. This is the 10th. I would draw this line and then extend it. Oh, and then it gets at the 18th, it gets the rejection perfectly. I would extend this line because if $3.70 is broken, it's going to ignore the other horizontals left here. That I am confident of. It will come down to this line. But I am actually not that confident that 370 will be broken anytime soon. This is, I mean, hell, this looks like it's at a freaking, is it in a daily uptrend still? Or did it break it? No, it's still in a daily uptrend with room to go. Hell, this could go all the way down to, as long as it closes days above $4, it's in a daily freaking uptrend. That's pretty powerful. Man, yeah, this one has a good chance of being a first mover in a next bull market. I'm actually pretty impressed right now. It's been going sideways and consolidating for 100 days almost. This is looking really good. And I can tell very clearly that people are interested in this in an investment standpoint, but $374 are your targets, and then you only need one line after that. If it breaks through, it'll probably hit this line. That's for near. All right. Hopefully that was helpful, even though I reneged on it. All right. VCAM back up. And then you said near and what else? Oh, secret. Yeah, I'll do secret real fast. Okay, so it fell off that cliff. This one's going to be mostly a horizontal play as opposed to channel plays. I would mark off this zone here as a target, and I'll label it. But what would initiate that is the question. So that's the bottom and top of that box. It's got way too many decimals. I don't know why this says so. Like, that's unnecessary. But what? So that would be if it falls off a cliff. The cliff is actually pretty simple. The cliff is right here. So what would initiate a move down to 25 cents is if if 62 cents is lost and price, you honestly maybe not even used as resistance, but if it breaks below 62 cents and use it as resistance, you got a big ways to go. It's gonna really accelerate. There's not much structurally over here to really hold it. So you need to watch out for this. 62 is really important for this to hold until a capitulation event. Because if it comes down here before Bitcoin capitulates, because this just loses versus Bitcoin is before Bitcoin, hits something nasty, this is going to have price discovery it'll lose another 60%. It'll wick down to these lows. So you need, if you're a fan of this and you don't want it to get really messed up, before Bitcoin makes a very strong leg down, it needs to hold 62 cents, which it kind of looks like it will, because it's a fairly strong distance away. Yeah, that's a whole 40% away. So it looks like it has a good chance. But if Bitcoin goes sideways for a while or floats down, doesn't do anything aggressive, but this, floats down to this point while Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin takes a dump, man, it could swing past here. But these are the levels that I'd be looking out for. The top of this box, what I could see happening is it hits 62 and bounces around 62 to 76 quite a bit. Just boom, 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 boom before heading down. But these are your two horizontals that you need for this coin. This one's a fairly easy read because there's not a whole lot to work with. Yeah, just straight up horizontals for this one. All right, here we go. Where's the king of Bitcoin? Yeah. Hey, Chris Crane, thanks. Yeah, the king of Bitcoin. Where's my crown? All right. Hey, Tim, I'm super late. Brokoshi, can you look at flow? No, I haven't looked at flow. Let's go get it. I'm going to look at it. Nope. On the this? I mean, this ain't looking very good. It's got a chance to do something. I would draw this rotated rectangle or just trend lines like this. And then here, just watch how I do it. I do the rotated rectangle first, draw lines over it, then I click on the rotated rectangle, and then I make sure I can see price. and I try to make it get to, I shrink it down to the point of control. Right there. And then I can make the dotted, I think I only need one dotted line between for the midpoint. I'll make that smaller, or a dashed line, and done. So you want to do this for flow. It's got a chance to hold on, but this looks like it's going to break down. It looks, so if it breaks below this top channel, it's going to the point of control and probably the bottom of it. So, and it could really accelerate there. And that would put her down at 82 cents. So it'd lose a whole dollar out of its current $1.86 price. But this does have a chance to use the top of this, the top of this channel as support. And it's descending, so it depends on when it hits it. If it hits it, like today, tomorrow, it's about $1.62. If it hits it next week or, later in September, it's $1.55, right? But I would try to draw this. So let me zoom out so you can see this. Pretty much, it's going to deal with these lines right here. All right, cool. That is flow. All right. And then Harrison is asking Glimmer LCX. Yeah, Glimmer's been looking horrible. Oh my gosh. Whew. Nasty. Which it's actually been trying to consolidate. It's not as bad as what I remembered it, and I just checked it a couple weeks ago. I guess it is kind of still going down, but ooh. This has got channel and a glaring horizontal, and it's getting ready to lose it. Oh, it actually already did. Oh no. Ooh, that is a cliff. Ooh, it just fell off. Yeah, it's gonna hit this line. It's gonna hit this. Or worse. But it could have a lower high before this line is hit, but this is its destiny. This line will be hit. And it's probably going to be in September. It's getting ready to, it's destined to hit that line this month. So it might bounce on the way there like this, but if it does, it's just going to go lower when it hits it because this is descending. But this line is signed, sealed, and gonna be delivered. It's not delivered yet because it hasn't hit it, but the envelope is signed and sealed because you fell off this cliff here. This is donezoed, and you got rejected. So you have confluence between the channel and horizontals. Yeah. So I would say depending on when it gets there, let's say it takes a few days. On September 14th, it's 41 cents. If it takes until the 20th, or no, FOMC date. So FOMC date is 36 cents. If it holds on a little bit longer, late September, you're looking at 32 cents. But either way, that line's going to be hit. Its destiny that is its destiny. It's midterm destiny. All right. LCX. Yeah, Glimmer, that's obvious. Not too many charts give me, what is this? I used to know what this is. Okay. So this is also holding on a little bit stronger. Man, so if this is all, it's all because of the Ethereum merge. Ethereum has really saved altcoins from a lot of punishment, which makes me think that altcoins are going to get destroyed once this merge happens. So this is the fourth or fifth coin that we've seen work its way out of a macro channel and go sideways. And this, I'm telling you, this wouldn't have happened without the merge stuff. This could mean that's going to make up for it. It could get really nasty, folks. Like altcoins might be on the verge of getting their ass kicked around September 21st. Like real bad. Like real bad. I don't think they can hold this strength. Because even with the prospect of Ethereum being deflationary, that's not going to make an immediate effect on the order book. Because the speculation of that it's already been baked in. It went on 140% tear off its lows. I mean, that's it. Wow. Yeah, we're seeing this happen across. That's all because of the Ethereum merge. Man, most of these coins are going to make up for it. I don't think Near will. Maybe not Chainlink, but this coin is. This coin is getting ready to. I mean, look. This is getting ready. This is going to get its ass kicked, dude. This one's going to get hurt. It's getting ready to fall off a cliff, and it's falling off of it now. Yeah, this other wick down is not going to hold it. It's these, yeah, it's this level here. It's falling now. This is kind of doomed, dude. So if, and again, I don't want anybody to take, futures plays off of my analysis here, because I'm not giving you, trade setups. I'm not telling you any setups, but this looks like it's going to be nasty. So once it falls off this cliff, this coin is going to come down here, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to drop hard. There's nothing else. Let me zoom out. So yeah, this wick low right here is not going to hold it. You can get a bounce there at 441. So you could get a bounce right there, but it's going to be a lower high from the bounce. You can have like a juke there. So yeah, it's already crashing below 50 cents. And your target later this month is going to be 34 cents. It's going to have a big drop. I don't see how it's going to hold up. This one's going to be dirty, man. Dirty. It does have a chance to use this as support long term, though, because it's such a big drop. So I think throughout the bear market, it could hold this as support. But it's still going to it's going to do some dirty work here. All right, that is LCX. All right. Hey, what's up, Sean Dillard? All right, sweat is pumping. Okay, Harrison. Sweat is pumping hard. Is this pump sustainable? Well, if it's pumping hard in a bear market, it's probably not sustainable. Unless it's Luna or Luna Classic. Sweat. This is weird as it sounds. I mean, that especially the new old coin, or the old new coin, Luna Classic. I mean, that actually looks like it's fairly sustainable for a couple more months. But sweat. Well, it just came out, so you have to ignore that. This looks like it's brand new. It's just released, right? Yeah, I think this one was just released. Nope, maybe not. Sweat. What the hell? September. Wait. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Well, no, it's already done. Wow. People speculated hard on this. Oh my god. It's not that bad. I could see one more rally up on this guy, though. As long as, so I'm on the 5 minute, I'm going to go to, this is brand new. If you could get a break above this trend line here, which it looks like it's doing now, then that should initiate a move. Back up to here. So I would front run seller. So I would do it here. Honestly, it looks like the move's going to be initiated already. This could be a really good spot trade. And again, I'm not saying this is guaranteed to work out because I don't know. Yeah, so a 40% play. It doesn't look like there's very good liquidity on this because I'm seeing, dots around here. So you probably can't play with more than like 500 bucks on this. Because if you do, you won't be able to sell where you want to sell or buy where you want to buy. But I think it's getting ready to hit that line. I don't see it getting trapped by this level. It might pull back from there and make a higher low, but I don't know, man. For a new coin, because it had so much exuberance, that it doesn't just go away. It looks like it did, but they're going to give it one more shot. I could see 6.8 cents being hit again. Yeah, this trend line's been broken. So once it busts above this local high here, it's going to ignore this local high here. And it's going to go up to this level. But I would front run the people who plan to sell at the top of here. So sellers will come in here, and you're going to want to front run them. You want to front run people selling at 7 cents. Because there might not be more than like $300 of orders filled at 7 cents. So you need to be getting out before then, right? And honestly, you'd want to, let's say you went for example, not financial advice, just me playing. If I played this, if I went $500 deep on this, because there's not much liquidity for much more than that, it appears. I could be wrong, but these candles are kind of telling me that's probably true. Maybe 1,000 tops. But let's say you put $1,000 in this. You don't want to sell all right there because the orders won't be filled. Honestly, the bots might deny you. They might not like it. So you'll want to sell into it. You'll want multiple limit sells. Literally, you'll probably want 10 of them. So you'll want one order sell there, one sell here, one sell here, one sell here. You'll want multiple sell orders in that range. And then you could go to my, what do you call it? My playlist, Learning Trading Basics. And it's the one with the thumbnail that has a choo-choo train on it. Looks like Legos. I show you how to do an upside down triangle. So the bigger orders up top, but you want to create the liquidity to make the bots happy, so it goes and gets them all. And so it hits your bigger sell orders. You might go to the playlist and look at that and do an upside down triangle. That type of stuff, what I just showed you, is mostly what I talk about on VIP calls on Discord. So you got solid information on that play. But then again, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen, but that is my interpretation of this new coin. The buyers just came out with a vengeance. They're cooling off. I bet they do one more round, and that's where it goes if they do another round. All right. With Bitcoin having dropped 10%, I don't know. But this all happened when Bitcoin was dropping. So that would be the attempt I make. And honestly, I might try it. That looks like a pretty good spot trade. It looks fun. All right. Okay, just closed my ICP short. Yeah, I gave up on ICP short. I think it just kept going sideways too long. Yeah, good thing I did, because it fucking kept going up. It's a good thing I gave up. Yeah, once it kept going above this, I was like, screw it, I'm done. Man, so this is also floating out sideways. It's in no man's land. It's between here. I can't. I think it's got a shot of coming back up and getting rejected from here one more time before coming down, but it could hit this line first. I can't quite tell. Yeah, I can't tell which point will be hit first on this. Either somewhere close to $7 or somewhere close to 578. I can't see it. It's too much in the middle. Yeah, that one's hard to play. If you're out of the trade on that, I would probably wait to re-enter. I wouldn't re-enter in the middle of no man's land because it's going to be unpredictable what it does. All right. Hey, Craig. So did I get everybody? Sub, okay. Cliff jumping, boom, sweat, bam. Okay, flow, secret, Adam. All right. Somebody's asking about Adam. I will do short-term and mid-term price action analysis on Adam. Let's dive into it. It went past my targets by a little bit, but that is not uncommon for freaking Adam. All right, so it came out of the descending channel, hit an origin line on the head. Hit it on the head. Wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So it would have been freaking easier had I just deleted this descending channel. Because it broke right out of it. Did it just invalidate it? I'm going to do this for Adam. So you have a couple things going on here. You have a descending channel, which it spent a lot of time in, but you also have these origin lines, which clearly are working better. Two different types of structural analyses here. And again, these blue lines I call origin lines. You'll only find them on my channel for people watching the recording of this. I might want to make these lines a different color, but they work. And honestly, I don't know why they work. They still baffle me, but they just work, so I use them, and I call them origin lines. All right, so that's what those are. But I'm going to make a trading channel out of which it floated. That's the point of control. And then here's the midpoint. And another midpoint. There's your range. Okay. So you have two things in play. You just watched me draw the trading channel. As of now, I think it's a little wiser just to use origin lines for guidance, but I would have that trading channel there. And again, I've made on my Learn Trading Basics playlist on my channel, I made a video how to set up your chart. I'm pretty sure it's in the tags how to use the object tree, so you can do this as well. But I would set that up, but make it disappear. I would refer back to it. The channel will become more useful once price falls back into it, obviously, right? But as of now, this isn't quite as helpful. I think the origin lines without that is going to be a little bit more helpful. But if Adam decides to get a little weak and falls and uses this as resistance, that will initiate a move to the point of control. So you need to be aware of that. But it is far away from happening. I mean, Adam is in a strong trend. It has a good chance of using this line as support, right? It has a good chance of using it as support. So it might not fall back into this channel, but at least the top line of this channel is probably going to be pretty useful. And then if it falls below and use it as resistance, then the whole channel itself will be useful. All right. But for now, so let me zoom out. So in case you want to draw that channel and put it in an object tree and make it disappear until you need it, I'm going to make myself small or invisible, Harry Potter cloak. So this goes back to October here, late October. And I'm on the 4-hour chart if you want to try making this same channel. All right. And then I'm going to take this guy off. Actually, you know what? I might leave it on for a second. Let's see if we get some confluence there. So let's say that it takes a while to hit here. I will put a pin in it. Actually, no, I will just create a line like this. I will draw over it. And now I'll get rid of it and put my origin lines back on. If it hits the top of that channel, it's got a strong chance of doing it when an origin line crosses it. So around, and I know that sounds weird, and I know you can't time the market, but one of the best tools to try to time things is when things cross with origin lines. Like, you can't time the market, but this is like the best shot you got. Or sometimes EMA crosses help as well. So we'll throw on something here, but it might take, how many days would this be? That's 19 days. So on October 3rd, I can see it at $9.94. That's not a bad guess. It could be a lot lower, but if it is lower, then you want to use that's when you put the trading channel back on, because then that's going to become more relevant than these origin lines. Is it making sense? So it's kind of hard to analyze this because I don't know if it's going to break back in or not. But I'm giving you the tools and giving you the know on how to do your own TA there once the time calls for it. So I would say that, honestly, this origin line has a solid chance of being used as support for quite a while. So I would, you don't have to do all origin lines, but what I would recommend doing is zooming out at least on the 1 hour chart and taking a look at the yearly lows on June 17th and making the same trend line as I have. Initiation to downside moves is not going to happen until this line is both broken and used as resistance. And it's ascending, so it's going to happen, right? But you're not going to get a stronger move to the downside on Atom until it's those two things have happened at that line, broken and used as resistance. And used as resistance could happen in 1 hour. So you'll want to go into the 5-minute candles. Why am I pointing to my head for 5 minutes? Maybe I have 5-minute candles in my head. 5-minute candles, small candles to be able to see it. And I'll show you an example here. I would assume that, let me zoom in a little bit. Like these wicks down here, as it came down, it did not use this as resistance specifically. So let's go down to the 5-minute candle, make myself small so I can show you some examples here. Okay. It's the same line that I've asked you to draw. It technically used it a little as resistance, but boom, resistance, got above, went below, got right back above, then went straight back to support. See that? So it could, you know, zoom around it for a little bit, but until you see resistance, and then it breaks the local lows, I think it's fairly safe at this line. All right, I gotta wrap up after this one. So it did use it as resistance, but it did not take out this low. Do you see that? And that's what I talk about a lot of my channels. Even more important than 4-hour candle closures below line. That stuff doesn't work anymore. Daily closures, because it just creates fake outs. I'm telling you. It's structure below resistance and support that works. Sometimes you'll get fake outs there too. But the whole closure deal above and below key lines, traditional finance is taking full-blown advantage of that and using it to set you up. So it's like, this is what is way more certain. Like that's good free information, if I may say. So, and this is a perfect example. So yes, this was used as resistance, but you made a higher low and you never took out that low. So had it taken out this low, it came below the same origin line we're focusing on. It did use it as resistance, but the time you would accelerate is if you take out the original low that it came down before using it as resistance. Am I making sense? So it would have accelerated here. Boom. That's when it would have really gone down after using it as resistance and taking out the low, if I could be specific. All right. So it wiggled its way back above that origin line. All right. And then what's going to happen here? So once again, it made a local low going under the same origin line, used it as resistance, but it never took out that low. Are you seeing that? Here, let me zoom in. And this is the 5-minute chart on the same origin line that we're going to be dealing with here shortly. You made a local low coming under the origin line. Resistance at the origin line, you used a higher low, never took out that low. Therefore, it had a chance to get back above. All right, so you're looking for not that if price is going to accelerate to the downside. So Atom honestly is strong. It's going to be okay. I mean, even if it comes all the way down to 1130, or 1140, it's still okay. It has a strong chance of using this as support. And if you zoom into the 5-minute candles, if it overshoots it, so let's like zoom in here. If it overshoots that, let's just say it goes way down here. If it overshoots it, it's going to make its first local low, right? and then it'll potentially use it as resistance. But if it never takes out that low, it's got another chance to go back above and make another lower high. But it's the point where it uses that origin line as resistance and takes out that local low. Boom. That's when you're going to get some more aggressive downside targets. But until that happens, I think Atom's going to stay strong. So I was a little scatterbrained during this because I hadn't looked at Atom for a while, and it's being really strong. But that origin line right there, I would recommend drawing it on your chart. It's going to be very, very integral for, Atom price probably through, maybe even as long as October. It's going to be the line to be looking at, and it's not a horizontal. That's Atom, and I got to go because my wife is not happy. All right, we'll see y'all. I will see you on Thursday.